y'all for having me. I feel like I'm in a room of family members because I know a lot of y'all have contributed and been a part of this project. So I'm just going to approach this like a good old family reunion. We're going to hit it off. I always like to start with park stories because we run into interesting people in the park world. I was a National Park Service ranger when I started this career, worked at Petersburg National Battlefield. My favorite visitor question of all time was, visitor came up to me, dead serious, asked me a question, said, I got this question, it may seem dumb to you. I said, no such thing as a dumb question. We all know there are dumb questions. And he proceeded to hit me with one. He asked, why were all Civil War battles fought at national parks? Got together, so we're going to fight for Petersburg. Where should we do it? Running y'all through an update of this project. I'm going to touch upon a bunch of points. I'm a very fast speaker by habit, so I'll run through 63 slides and then be happy to take any questions you have at the end. Today is the golden era of parks in Louisville. There's no doubt about it. Between what Waterfront Park has done with Hargraves, what Olmsted Parks Conservancy is doing, and what we're doing, there is no time in the city's history where this many high-quality parks have been built and operated simultaneously. And the city should give itself a real pat on the back for that accomplishment. It's also economic development. We mentioned Boise. I had the great fortune of living out there for 9 years. During that period of time, Boise did not have an economic development department. It did not stroke one single economic development incentive check. I grew up the son of a city manager, and I thought in the South to get economic development done, it was who wrote the biggest check and you did the ribbon cutting. What we learned out there is very intuitive, I think, and works here in Louisville, which is if you build a community that's a great place to live and great schools and don't take money from one business to give it to another, you can maintain, recruit, and also help an economic community develop and grow in a much more sustainable fashion. And that's our play with parks. Parks are every bit of economic development as roads, highway, and other infrastructure. Beginning in 2006, we asked the residential development community what's the most attractive amenity for new residential development. Until 2006, golf courses were number one. Beginning in 2006, access to trails became number one, and the margin is expanding. And that number is holding true nationally. So I bring that up to set the stage on why we're doing what we're doing. Number three, this is real. This is a shot from a couple weeks ago. I'm as guilty as anyone of writing great plans that then collapse on shelves. This ain't one, y'all, and this is one of the reasons I'm here. This park is happening and it's going to be complete by 2015. There is no other park project in the United States that's being constructed right now at this pace or with this level of progress. None. It's interesting. Our group, you saw on the table, we travel around the country, we talk to people. More people are wowed by that than people in Louisville. I don't know if it means we're spoiled or maybe people just don't know what's going on, but I hope you help us share that word coming out of today's presentation. There are 6 of these mega park projects in the country. We are one. You see us there in the center. Yeah, there's some big ones. You expect New York to have one. Fresh Kills landfill. The Beltline in Atlanta. Atlanta figured out they needed to provide park space for urban sprawl in about 1992. In other words, about 30 years too late. And then we've got Orange County Great Park in Los Angeles. If any of y'all seen Top Gun, that's where the volleyball scene was filmed. My wife thinks that should be a national park. Then you've got us in the center. Because we believe the park makes a city. Everyone knows that, right? Yell it out. Central Park, we all know it. Well, when Central Park went in, New York ended at 34th. And you can go back and read the editorials from the 1840s where people were ripping the city for wasting money on land that will never develop. Hard to imagine that. But we only know Manhattan today because of Central Park. Well, Olmsted came here to Louisville in the 1880s and did the same thing. We all see that core right there. That was Louisville when he got here. He went out and did Cherokee, Iroquois, and Shawnee, way outside the city limits of the time. I've got Bob Hill to go back and pull the Courier-Journal editorials, scathing editorials. The city is wasting money on land that will never develop. Hard to believe that now. In fact, Iroquois Park was so far out of the city limits, the city mayor at the time, Mayor Jacobs, purchased it with his own money. 2 weeks later, he convened city council, annexed it back in, and paid himself back. But that's beside the point. And this is going to keep happening. You know, we love downtown revitalization, urbanization, but we also are driven by numbers. And when we looked at this U.S. Census for the last 10 years about where population growth is occurring, you can look there. It's still outside of downtown areas. And we have no reason to believe that Louisville is going to be any different than that. So we think it is imperative that we put in the infrastructure to build livable communities ahead of time. And so planners tell us that Louisville in about 50 years is going to occupy this outer ring. And just as the city grew around Cherokee and Iroquois, it's going to grow around the parklands. And the parklands is this green line you see that stretches there. We are about 4,000 acres in size. We are completely owned. We have complete connectivity from the northern end to the southern end, and we're 20 miles long. That's strong. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. Dan, our board, Luke, the whole team, and the Louisville citizens are making this happen. It's quite an impressive project. We're all focused on Floyd's Fork, absolute typical Kentucky stream. We pass over streams like this every day in our cars. We hear expansion joints. There's a lot going on between those expansion joints, and our park's going to bring that out. Y'all know the scenes and sites. It is a special, special place. We have over 22 waterfalls within the park. That is Bardstown Road in the foreground looking south towards Mount Washington. That's all parkland there. A couple winters ago, obviously. And then this is the last time I saw our naturalist, so if you see him, please return him to me. But there's an element where this can't be a build it and they will come proposition. This ain't Field of Dreams. Shoeless Joe is not going to come out to this park just because we built it. Parks have to be programmed intentionally after you operate them. And so we have a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. No one visits a park if it's not safe, bottom line. They'll come once or twice if it's not clean, but they ain't coming back. And only then do you get to safe and fun. Our critique, and it is a critique, is that too many modern urban parks go right to fun and beautiful and miss the safe and clean. It's not sexy, but we are judged on parking and bathrooms. And y'all know it as well as I do. If you don't take care of that, I can't get you to a learning point. And so we are very basic managers in that respect. We look at those basic foundations and then we get to the peak point. So a lot of stuff that we do isn't really fun, but we think it makes for a park you'd actually want to visit. We also recognize that resources for local services are very finite, especially in local government. Let's not kid ourselves, I was there. If you are a local government elected official and you have the choice with finite resources on police, economic development, and fire, and then parks and libraries, where are you putting money? We know that, and that's fine. We accept that. And when we look forward, we see local government struggling even more as they try to fund just retirement systems and pension systems. So we've elected to establish ourselves as a nonprofit. We receive no city or public funding for operations whatsoever. We are dependent upon donors, we are dependent upon users, and we're dependent upon visitors for our success. That means we're also the sharp edge of the knife, where we're beholden to customers, which we think makes us more effective managers at the end of the day. What's happening now? I'm going to show you some construction shots. I'm going to show you how things are opening, and then take you through our full 2015 opening. There are 4 major parks. We stretch right across the street from Valhalla Golf Course down to Bardstown Road near Mount Washington. And I'm going to take you north to south. Beckley Creek Park is our northernmost park. This is going to open beginning this November. It's very people-centric. Our line is, it's Seneca Park, but with grass. So, we start across from Valhalla, and nothing quite gets your attention as a neighbor as Valhalla. So we want it to be a dramatic entryway, and this is the new drive as you come into the park off Shelbyville Road, and this will be opening on November the 10th. You notice the dry stacked walls that we see all over Kentucky. We're placing those throughout the park. Anyone here been to Blue Ridge Parkway? Those great stone walls, right? They frame things. They tell you you're home. We're doing the same thing, and these walls will outlive any of us in this room. We have a community garden that we've expanded. We have some stocked fishing ponds that are out there. If any of y'all are anglers, I think I can say this. We stocked it with trout yesterday, so hurry, hurry. And then we've got our first section of the Louisville Loop. The Louisville Loop is a 100-mile trail plan that the city is working on. We are going to build 20 miles of it. Whether the city connects with us or not, that's great. We hope they do. Our 20 miles is done in 2015. Hard surface path that we have engineers on right now so that we can have y'all on later. So you'll be able to go all the way from Valhalla Golf Course to Bardstown Road on these hard surface paths and not be on a road. Not bad. There's some trout from yesterday, and there's a shot from yesterday. To me, that's economic development. I don't care what anyone else says. Now, I spent a month in Cincinnati this past weekend, and I can tell y'all, we should be drilling that city for economic development. There is no reason why we shouldn't be, kicking their butt. And we think this is the play that works for us. It's a much longer-term play, admittedly, than doing what Indianapolis did when they went after pro sports or Nashville did with music. But if in 50 years from now Louisville is known as the best place to raise kids and best parks, I'll take that over being an NFL town or a music town. Doesn't give you as many ribbon cuttings for politicians, but but the long-term payoff will be a lot better. This is a view of what the egg lawn would look like. Got I-64 in front of us, this way towards the team that doesn't know how to play football. And that way towards Louisville. So you know where you are. It used to be a soccer. And that's what the egg lawn looks like today, or actually a couple weeks ago. So this is happening. It's coming out of the ground. The Glenview Garden Club, one of our partners, just planted, Jim, 250, 300 trees that circle it. We planted about 10 different species because you never know what bug's going to come in. It'll be emerald ash borer today. It'll be some blight tomorrow. So you try to plant a lot of different species to reinforce it. And 100 years from now, it's going to be that great canopy of trees. Little trees now for a canopy tomorrow. Really a powerful thing to say. So the walk will look like that probably in about 5 years. There they are planting the trees just to show you all work can get done. And then we have Creekside Center, which is our downtown park area. That's the PricewaterhouseCoopers Picnic Pavilion, the Creekside Playground, which was selected by the Leo readers as the best playground in Louisville this past month, which we were very excited about. And it has a couple other special features. There's a shot of the spray ground. Real fun facility for kids, families. Neat site for everybody to enjoy. There's the Picnic Pavilion's Hogan's Fountain without the controversy. Holds about 100 people. Gene's Foundation Lodge. This is where I will implore Sam Stewart. Sam, you have to stand up and put you on the spot. Sam wave. Sam is our new facilities and events manager. If you are getting married, he's your man. If you're getting divorced, I believe it's someone up here. This is your event lawn, your facility. The big room hosts about 300 people. We've got a small executive board room that hosts about 45 to 50. So it is perched right on Floyd's Fork. You'll be able to sit in your meeting room and instead of doing solitaire, watch people fly fish. So real neat spot for meetings that we bring to life. This February we'll begin taking bookings later this winter, early winter, so you'll see that information roll out. We hope you can put this onto your event platter as you consider locations. That's what it looks like now. Then we have the PNC Center for Education and Interpretation. This is, and I always say this, okay, this is our seduction center, but not creepy guy in the white van by the playground seduction. This is good. The goal of this building is to get kids outdoors. What we've learned is kids in Louisville, and it's not unique to Louisville, just don't have that connection to the outdoors. They don't know what an oak tree is. This building is designed to get kids in, put on galoshes, and get them outside. Kim, if you would stand up. Kim is our new education manager. Kim's job is to get kids holding crawdads. And we laugh, but that has meaning. We had a group of kids here probably 4 or 5 years ago from Russia that came all the way to Louisville, Kentucky to study our oak hickory forest. Because of them, it's the most exceptional forest in the world. I go to every school around here. Where do they say I go to study the environment? They say Alaska or Central America. It's simply not true. It's spectacular here. It's nuanced. It's not the Tetons. It's not Yellowstone. But it's extraordinarily special. So Kim's got the great task of bringing Louisville's landscape to life. And we've got a lot of great resources out there to make that happen.